Welcome to IST's video tutorial on importing meet entries and results. This will allow you to quickly and easily put entries into meets or to bring in results from an away meet for record-keeping purposes. Meetware can import either SD3 or CL2 entry or result files. This tutorial assumes that you have a basic knowledge of setting up, seeding, and running meets in Meetware. Just a note before we begin, IST can import entries from Hy-Tek that are either times or positions, for example positions 1, 2, and 3. We cannot correctly import entries that are listed by heat and lane. The entries will come in, but they may not get assigned to the correct heat or lane and will need to be manually seeded. If you communicate this information ahead of time to visiting teams, it saves a lot of time when you import their entries. To begin with, if you are importing a file from Hy-Tek and it came to you as a .zip file, you will need to unzip it. You do need to have software installed on your computer that will do this. If you do not already have the software that came with Windows, you can download free versions of the pkzip or WinZip software packages. Minimize Meetware, navigate to the file, right-click on it, and click Extract. You can extract it to wherever you want as long as you can remember where you put it. Extract the file, then close the program and return to Meetware. Before you can import anything, you must set up the meet to import into. Select Meets and Meet Setup. Set up a new meet. Select the point system and the event list for the meet. It is important to note that the event list that you select must match exactly the event list of the information that you are importing, or the imported data will not look correct. For teams, select just your own team. The other teams will be added to the meet once you do the import. If you select more than the home team, the teams may be duplicated when they are imported. Now go in and set up your seed preferences for the meet. This will ensure that the data comes in properly. This particular meet is a dual meet, so I will set it up like I usually do. Once you have the seating preferences set, you can import the information. Go to Meets, Import, and select the SD3CL2 option. This is the main import screen. Select the meet that you have set up to import the entries or results into. It is advisable to make sure that the Use Event Number is checked here. This will match events in the event list by number rather than by stroke and distance, and is much more accurate. Check whether you are importing an entry or a result file. For this example, I am importing entries, so we'll click on the entries. If the Update Home Team roster box is checked and an athlete's grade comes in differently from what is in your roster, this will update the grade. If it is unchecked, the grades and names in the home team roster will not be changed, so we'll leave this unchecked. If you entered your team by position in seeding, which is what I usually do for dual meets like this, then you will see the Convert Time to Position checkbox here. This will change the seed times on the imported entries to positions 1, 2, 3, etc., so that they will match your seeding preferences. If you choose not to change the entries to position, you will need to change the seeding preferences to times points in order to have the meet seed properly. Next, click Import and select the file that you want to import. The default file type is an SD3. If you are importing a CL2 file, which is a Hy-Tek file, change the files of type to Hy-Tek CL2 so that you can find the correct file. Click OK, and the import will begin. The first thing the import does is check the teams on the import file against the list of teams in your system. If it finds one that is not in your system list, you will see this screen. In this case, the team that it found is not in my team list. To change the name of an imported team to match one on your list, click on the correct team in the list, and then click Change Team to Selected. Since this team is not already in my list, I will just add it to the system. One item to note: if you are planning on exporting results back to the team that sent you entries, you should add the team into the system even if they already exist under a different team code. That way, when you export the results back to the visiting team, their team code will match what they have in their system, and their results will import properly. Once the import is complete, you will see Import Successful. Or, there were errors, please check the log in the status field. If there were errors, you can check to see what they were in the error log, and fix them either in seeding or offline scoring. Once you have successfully imported the information, you can manipulate it just as if it had been entered in your system originally. If you imported entries, go to Seeding, and you will see the other team's entries here. You may want to double-check the entries to make sure that they came in correctly and that exhibitions are marked properly. Just a reminder, if a team sent their entries in listed by heat and lane, they may not seed the way that they were expecting. Once you have your entries in, you can go ahead and seed the meet normally. If you are importing entries for an invitational, it is a good idea to do a backup in between importing each team's entries. That way, if one team did something wrong, you can just restore the backup and try it again without worrying about losing all the other team's data. Also, if there was an issue with a team, you can import their updated results and it will overwrite whatever is in the system for that team, so you can import the corrections without duplicating their entries. If you imported meet results, you will need to go into offline scoring to score the meet. For all meets except for prelims, finals, championship meets, you can check the Score All box here and score the whole meet all at once. For imported championship meets, you will need to score each finals event individually in order for the meet to score properly. For more information about importing, please consult the Meetware help files. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, and have a great meet.